to reestablish elected school boards so that local decision-making would once again be part of our education system. The platform said abolishing school boards abolished a critical check and balance in the system. As such, your PC government will return school boards and it will be tabled. But school boards are not mentioned in the minister's mandate letter. And when asked yesterday by reporters if he would be bringing back school boards, the premier said, I don't think so. I don't personally think you need a whole board for that. My question, Mr. Speaker, is can the minister confirm if the government plans to deliver on this campaign promise and return school boards?
The Honourable Minister of Education and Early Childhood Development.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you to the member opposite for the question. So this is one of the things that I'm incredibly passionate about. It's understanding what our communities and our stakeholders' needs are and making sure that they're incorporated into our planning and into the actions that we take. And as I've said on a number of occasions when asked about this, we are undertaking dialogue with communities and stakeholders so that we understand what families and educators and staff and communities need in terms of local voice and governance, and we're undertaking that work now, and I look forward to it progressing. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The member for Halifax Needham.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and I'm grateful that the minister explained that. I really would like the minister to explain that to the premier so that the communication is clear for everyone. Mr. Speaker, another commitment in the PC platform is to revisit, revive, resurrect, and recommit to the report on inclusive education. The platform says that a PC government will not cherry pick from these recommendations and falsely claim action, and I'm tabling that. The budget includes $15 million to continue implementing the recommendations from the Commission. More funding for inclusive education is definitely welcome. However, when I asked the Minister in estimates how this funding would specifically advance the recommendations from the inclusion report, she wasn't able to provide any clarity. So, Mr. Speaker, will the Minister explain how the money allocated in this budget will resurrect the recommendations from the inclusion report? Thank you.
The Honourable Minister of Education.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the member opposite for the question. Inclusive education is fundamental. The concept of inclusion is fundamental and foundational to the work that we do in the education system. It is vital that our schools are welcoming, inclusive spaces where all of our children feel valued and needed and seen and heard, and the education system responds to that. And that's the foundation of our inclusive education policy and the work that we are doing in inclusive education. The investments that we're making in inclusive education will include additional supports in that vein, which include staffing supports in the schools and also include other measures to support the inclusive education. But we will be coming back in the near future with a report and an update on the specifics around the inclusive education measures.